we'll start with date first, like what important roles does a date play in retrieving data and formatting data. Okay, and the different abbreviations, so it has a lot of formats. So more of a it is one understanding the formats and how to use it. Okay, in MySQL, and it's very straightforward. As in, like once you get acquainted to it, you write 5-10 queries, you get used to it, and you understand what the abbreviation means. Okay, so we'll go through the abbreviation first thing. Okay, and last time, whatever like people were not able to download the assignment, so we'll try to that I'm looking into it. I'm able to download. Okay, let's I'll fix it, and then you can work on that. And then we'll start with a common table expression, what common table expression is, and where do we use it, how do we use it. We'll see one or two example of that. Okay, and post that we'll take one use case, a sample use case, which is wherein we have 2-3 tables, and we'll write queries to, based on condition, we'll try to answer those queries. Okay, so that is the idea. And if in case you have any doubts from previous sessions, please let me know. We can go ahead with that. Yeah, so guys, date. Okay, so far whichever table we have seen, I did not had dates in it. Okay, so what I did was I took random examples. So before we go ahead with dates, so let me take you through first the date formats. Okay, so there are a lot of functions you will find in MySQL. I mean, like more 4 or 5 famous functions are there. So out of those, I have taken the most commonly used function in SQL, MySQL majorly. And this is something date, why it becomes more critical and important, because different SQLs will have different functions to deal with the dates. Okay, and that is why it becomes critical to understand. So you might learn date here, it looks very easy and familiar to you. It might not work exactly as it is on MySQL server, Microsoft SQL Server, Oracle, or Hive. Okay, it will not work. So because they have different ways of dealing with the dates. Okay, but here in MySQL, and in majority of the date functions, whichever SQL server you are using, date is considered as character. Okay, if you input it in a table, it should be a character, it should be a varchar. Okay, it should be in a double quotes. Okay, and it should be a character, then only all the date function will work on that. Okay, so and what motive it serves for us. So a date is basically, if it is system generated data, if it is system is generating a data and it is fetching loading it in the table, so it will be a log date. So that means it will be some Unicode characters, which we call epoch value. Okay, you need to convert that. Sometimes it will be date with dd, YY, minute, second, microsecond. So this will be it will be very big. It will be something like if I need to convert that into a format, so it should be something like this: year. Okay, day, month, hour, okay, minute, second, microsecond. So this is generally the format of a date. If you talk about the logs. Okay, and this is the format of the date. Okay, and it will be ranging in something in this. Some system will generate only till minutes. Okay, so some system will generate only till seconds. Okay, so that is there, and some system might generate dates day as well. Okay, uh, day. Okay, so those are there, and due to this dissimilarities in different systems and different tables, we need to have one common functions wherein we can retrieve whatever we need. Okay, so here we'll use date format, and we'll try and understand what are the abbreviation, what are the different parameters we can pass to date format to accomplish what we need. Okay, so our reporting generally happens like with day, month, year, or maximum weekdays. Okay, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So we need that. So for that reason, we have abbreviation, and if you pass that abbreviation to the date format, it will directly retrieve the date. Okay, of whatever desired format you want. So let's say today we talk about today, right? And we know this is 1st of January. Today it is 25th. Okay, so 25th, and we what we do is we use this and try and get whatever details I want. So let's say I want to report in my Tableau or Power BI only the month number. Okay, wherein I just want which month is this. Okay, so I'll just will start from beginning. Okay, so I just need to report which month it is. So caps M, okay, will give you the month name in full: January, February, March, April, like this. So you just need to pass capital M here, okay, and it will return. If you see the return type, it returns you January. Okay, so for the sake of easiness, so let's as uh, date date uh, date value. Okay, so I just need to rename and I'll get my output. So similarly, if I write small m, so small m has its own importance. Okay, so what small m will do is will just check what small m does. It will replace the January, February, March full into numbers. You'll get January as 1, February as 2. Okay, that is what it does. So basically, based on what we need to join to report in my Tableau or in my any Excel report for that example. Okay, so you need to use the parameter likewise. Okay, now sometimes you might want a day, right? So you want which day is this what is the day today. So you just pass caps D. Okay, and see here, it is a 25th day. Okay, it is the 25th day of a month. So what it is doing, it is pulling the day and it is showing it to you as is here. Okay, now one more good example is day we have seen. Let's see small d. So it will show you the like which we got in when we wrote 25th caps D. So we got 25th. Okay, when we are writing small d, so we are getting 25th on 25th only. So likewise, it has a lot of variance. So you just let us go through here, and if you have any doubts, we can run and see what it will give you. So it will give you ABC. A will give you abbreviation, weekdays, name. So here, if you write ampersand caps A, so you'll get the full abbreviation: Sunday, Monday, like this. Okay, Sunday, Monday, like this, full day name. Then small will give you like short term, short name. B will give you short name, and all those things are there. So just go down. Okay, so this is which we use a lot when we talk about whenever we talk about sales, weekly revenue. Okay, so wherein you need to have the weekly numbers. So we give W. So W will give you a week name. Okay, or if I want which week is that, so you can even get that. Okay, so that is achieved by, let me run with W. What W gives us basically, it gives you Saturday. If I give U, caps U, so it should give me the week number. Okay, so this says this is a third week. And likewise, if I reach December end, so it will give me 52, 53, 54 week. Okay, like 50, 51, 52 week. Okay, so it gives you the week number. So I can get a weekly revenue, and in that case, you can easily do with this abbreviation. Okay, so guys, any doubts here? So just spare 30 seconds and just go through each of this so you'll understand. So here, the one aspect, since we don't have seconds, microseconds, hours, okay, so this abbreviation will not work since we don't have time details in the date. Otherwise, rest everything will be working here. Okay, so you will give you we have already seen, it gives you the week number. And then we have V. It gives you the week number again. One will start, the caps U and small u will start from zeroth week. Okay, and this caps V and small v will start from first week. Okay, so January is ideally first week. So I was in if I share one of my experience. Okay, so I was working with in Vodafone, wherein I need to create a report for sales team. okay, marketing and sales team. And in Tableau by default, since it follows American weekdays and weekends, okay, so we have Saturday and Sundays as weekend, okay, that is off. And they wanted the revenue to be calculated from Mondays. Working days should be Monday to Friday, but I was in Middle East, so there we have weekends on Friday and Saturday. Sunday is working. Sunday is considered to be first working day of a week. So there we need to tweak a lot to get such to tweak to get the different weekdays or weekends. Okay, so here then you even can pull out. If you see here, we have year, month, and day. So if you want to pull year, so just pass in y, so it will give you the year part. Okay, if you want to get the month, just pass in m, you get the month. If you want day, you pass the d, you'll get the date. Okay, so that is it. So that's pretty much in date. And whenever you have some, I'll share this abbreviation, and this is all. You don't need to look beyond this, and this will be done. Now let's get into common table expression. So guys, common table expression, theoretically, if I go to this, so common table expression, guys, is if I need to explain you in very layman term. So we have seen case statement, right? So any idea what case statement was? Case statement was a technique wherein we used to create a new column out of the existing column. Based on some logic, we used to create a new column. Okay. Now, then we also saw a temporary table. Okay, temporary table or a permanent table. We used to create a table. Okay, wherein we used to feed the data. So now common table expression is somewhere relatable from these two examples. What happens generally? We write subqueries to create temporary table, and then use that subquery to uh, do like some logic and get the final output. Sometimes subquery becomes very problematic in terms of the like time it takes. Okay, so what happens in SQLs and common table expression is not that prevalent in big data. Okay, you don't have this in Hive. Okay, so this is more of a RDBMS concept, which is very frequently used to make your query run fast. So here we have a part of query which will execute first, and that particular query will act as a table to another query. Okay, but everything happens this table creation and then uses of that table in yeah. So okay, yeah, so what I was saying is that once you create a common table expression, so the sole idea of common table expression is to create a logic and a table output which can be used by another, which can be consumed by another query, and to get the relevant output, to get the desired output. Okay, the only limitation to common table expression is it acts for a particular session. Okay, so when I talk about session, I don't mean this entire session which we are seeing. Okay, so it is more of a execution session. Okay, the time you select the entire query and run it. Okay, the entire selection and running the query execution is called execution session. Once the query is executed and the like execution stops, that common table expression dies off. Okay, it gets flushed off from the memory. It does not have any existence. Neither the table is created, okay, nor the column exists. Okay, it gets flushed out from the system. So example is, let's say we write common table expression with a syntax called with. Okay, so with is a syntax wherein we write. So how do we write with common table expression name ct, let's say ct sample. Okay, we give a uh, bracket. Here is your logic. So let's say select name, comma, id, comma, location from some table. Okay, now if you just run this, it does not have any existence. It will not give you error, but it will not have any existence. But what will happen to it? It will, once the execution stops and 2-3 seconds, this table will have no existence. It gets flushed out of the memory. So what we generally do is we'll have to use this CT table. Okay, this CT table will act if, let's select name from, okay, CT table, CT sample, where logic, okay, is equal to something. So what will happen now? If you see this the individuality of it, so what will happen? So the first this query will get executed. Okay, you'll have to run this in a go. Okay, in a go, and there will be only one semicolon at the end. So what I'm trying to tell is this will be one executable session. Okay, and you run this, so this table will be executed first. Okay, and you, if you see it here, so this same table is being used here, and this table, this CT table, the CT example, it does not exist in the schema or database. It does not exist anywhere. Okay, this table will be existing. This would be a physical table, okay, wherein you wrote some logic, okay, and based on that logic you created a CT table, and this CT table is being used to get the real output. So you'll get the output once the output is displayed in your system. This table, CT table, is it has no existence. Okay, guys, are we clear on this? Now we'll understand why it is needed. So some people might say that we have a temporary table, we have subqueries, okay, and what is the need of a common table expression? So we'll come to that. There's only one important use of it. It is being used as a variable. Okay, uh, and and it does not, if you see it from the optimization point of view, this is very important. Okay, that is the reason it is being used a lot. So we'll take one example. Okay, what is I just figured out one example here. Mm, okay, so we have this table warehouse, right? So yeah, so it is here. So let me, mm, yeah, I can, we can go through this example, then we can see for some one other example as well. So what I'm doing is I'm creating, first of all, I'm creating a table from warehouses. So we have warehouses somewhere. Okay, so I have warehouse table here, you see here. So let me select warehouse table first. Okay, yeah, so let me select warehouse table first. So use analytics. Yeah, so this is my table warehouse wherein I have location and I have capacity. Okay, and I have code as well. So what I'll do is just imagine I I need to first filter out Chicago. Okay, so I'll just select select location or capacity from warehouses where location is equal to Chicago. Okay, so this gives me a simple query logic. I'm pulling out location and capacity from warehouse. Okay, uh, where location is equal to Chicago. Now what will be my output of this inner query? The common table expression table, what it will have, so it will have only two rows, because since Chicago is occurring only two times, so this, it will have only two rows. Okay, and the capacity. Okay, now I can use this two rows. So just imagine, out if I had million rows, out of million I am just left with two rows, and so my next query becomes so light, it becomes so light that I just need to query two rows, and I can put any filters. Let's say capacity is equal to 3. Okay, so that becomes my later part, the final part of my CTE table. Select location capacity from the CTE table, customer in Chicago. Okay, where capacity is equal to 3, order by capacity. So you don't need to write this. So what will happen? You'll get one row as output. So just run and check it once. Okay, so you see here. So first, if you want to see step by step, so I'll run this query. Okay, I'm getting 2 table. Okay, so this gets settled down in this particular CTE table, and then I'm querying this CTE table. If you see here, from CT in CH, okay, where I'm putting filter on capacity. Okay, and this gives me 1 row. Okay, 1 row. Are we clear, guys? So let's take one more example of so Dipanshi, this works well with big tables. So you mean is it uh, like have so I didn't got your question. So see, it will work in big tables as well. Okay. So let's think about one example wherein what we'll do is yeah, it works. It does work, Devanshi. Okay, so let's this is one. So let's take one example of CT. Okay, wherein we'll try to use CT. We'll see the implementation of CT using case statement. Okay, that is something which we can see. So case statement generally creates. Let's create a case statement. Select star, comma, case when. So let's do some order by. Okay, so okay, so let's do some case statement and create one column. Let's create one flag. Okay, so where the flag will be based on values. Okay, so we need to say if is it a mid value, low value, mid value, or high value. Okay, so we'll create a flag from a integer. So we have an integer. So when value greater than, let's say, less than 100, then low value. Low value. Okay, low value. If I say when value greater than less than equal to 100, so that we don't miss any numbers. Okay, greater than 100, greater than, let's not put it here, let's greater than equal to 100, and value less than 200, then mid value. Okay, then let's, the third case statement will be what is the maximum. Okay, yeah, so then we'll what we can do is we can just put it else high value. High value. Okay, so this is my case statement. I'll just end it. End. Let's name this as a value bin. Okay, value bin. This is my column name. Now, yeah. So let's. This is in from warehouse, from boxes. So let's check how does it look like. What is, if we have any. So I got a column, and that is based on my logic. So I'm not missing any values. So I have all the values. Now just imagine this is your you want to use this mid value. You want to use this bin, the column that you have created, value bin, as your column in other tables. So that in that cases, this becomes very efficient in common table expression. So what will happen? I pull out, select uh, contents, okay, and warehouse, comma, this entire logic of bin. Okay, I'll select this. Generally, when you write in uppercase, it looks good and easy to read. Okay. Now, if I write this, so I get 3 columns. Now, what I'll do is I can filter all, or I can use this as a in a CT to build my own logic. Okay, so I'll write with let's say CT sample, CT example, example 1. Okay, and here, like, I just need to write as, this will go in my inner query. I need to remove the bracket. Now let's say I want to pull out, select, I want all the high bin value which is high. I need to see the high value boxes. Okay, and the contents. So I'll write select contents and value bin with the one which I've created. Okay, value bin from my CT table which I've created. Okay, I can even put a where clause on the table, the column that I have created earlier. This is not possible in subqueries. If you just think about subqueries, so it becomes a little complex in execution. So where value bin is equal to high value. So guys, is it clear? So I'm just creating a common table expression table, CT table here with calculated case statement. Okay, and in this case statement, I'm trying to use that new column to get the output. So let's see what it gives you. So why it is giving me all select content from CT where value bin is equal to high value. No, let's run again. Sometimes it is, I don't know which query it runs at first. So I got my high value columns. Okay, so this is one example of using CTs. Now major like if you talk about the analytics part of it, so in analytics it is used for creating calculated fields, calculated numbers. So if you guys are aware with R, okay, so if you have worked in R, so in R you have dplyr. Okay, where if you are not aware of R, so just Google about this package called dplyr. Okay, so what is dplyr used for? Majorly it is used for data manipulation. Okay, where you write queries to manipulate data. So this entire stuff that we do in dplyr a lot. So we can do this whenever the data is in SQL and we don't want to export it into R and do small analysis. So we use common table expression okay, to create a new column like using mutate. Okay, this is a function in R, and summary. Okay, and then you have something called if you are aware of it, if any one of you who have worked in Python, so in Python also you have pandas, right? So pandas you do a lot of data manipulation thing. Okay, so you all these things can be quickly done in your common table expression. Okay, so one, if I need to take one more example, so let me check. And one more, since we use this table in from call, see if you in from position, that means it's a table, right? So if you just see the existence, select star from this. Okay, so it will give you an error. It will say the in table analytics ct underscore ex1 does not exist. So this table does not have any physical appearance. Okay, physical existence. It gets flushed out uh, just after the query execution is done. The moment the query is executed and it terminates by semicolon, this table gets flushed out. So, and that is how it adds value in memory and optimization. Okay, and if you get an error, so the other question is, let's say you get error somewhere here in logic, this table will not be created, so this entire query will not be executed. Okay, similarly in this case, if you get error somewhere here in the logic, it will not get executed. Okay, so that is one thing. And okay, so let's see one case statement wherein we do create calculations. Okay, so then we can go ahead with the uh, further things. So here, okay, so let's think of the situation. And here, if I want to create a case statement, which will be based on some calculation, okay, which will be based on let's say value into warehouse, so total value. Okay, so how will we do? So it will be a simple case statement. Select star from boxes. Okay, this will give you the entire boxes. So if I want to create some columns, okay, definitely I need to take help of case statement. Okay, so case when uh, let's not you don't need to take help of case statement as well. So guys, just think about it. If I need to add one column, okay, so any idea how will we do that? Let's say I want uh, this will be simple function. How if I want this multiplication of these two, and that will be named as total value. How will you do that? So, Devanshi, to answer your question, the one prime factor is uh, the execution part. Okay, the common table expression, it is used as a variable. Okay, subquery is an overhead in terms of query, and so in subquery, if you write case statements, okay, so that might that adds overhead to the execution, whereas since it stays in memory. Okay, and then it is the entire table is being used in your above query. That exactly opposite happens in your ct expressions. Okay, so I here have written one difference. Let me check. Okay, so this is the major difference. So a common table expression is a named temporary result. Okay, named temporary result set that exists only within the execution scope of a single SQL statement. Okay, so once this execution step scope uh, uh, removes out, so it completely flushes the CTs out of the session. So have you come to a situation wherein you have used CT, Devanshi? Okay. Okay. So let's yeah, so I was talking about this. So in this case, if you want to create one calculated column, numerical column, okay, so you don't need to, write case statement. You can even write case statement, but here it will be a simple, let's say, value into a warehouse. Okay, keep it in bracket for the sake of easiness. Okay, and rename it something. Give a name to it as total value. Okay, and if you run this, so this can be easily achieved in the select statement only. You don't need to go for a case statement. So it's not like you cannot go. You can go, but select statement provide this provision of creating new columns directly in your select statement. Okay. Okay. No issues. So just go through it once. If you come, so in a ingest, this is commentable expression. But yeah, if you just share me if some cases wherein you have used and it is difficult, like more complex one, we can talk about it. Okay, anytime after the session as well. No worries. Okay, but in concept, on basics, it is this. Okay, we create a like session temporary tables, CT table, and we use those to get into other results. Okay, and one thing that you can keep a note, which I missed to talk about. Okay, it's not that uh, this you have a semicolon and it that is the scope of it. Okay, so what happens generally if you write a select statement after semicolon, like select star from CTEX1. Okay, so if you run this, you get an output. Okay, and if you now run this, you'll get an error. Okay, but I'm not sure about MySQL. Other SQL, since it's a session, okay, it you ran this in a go. Okay, it was a part of session, one execution session. That's why from very beginning I'm not talking about session only. Session is like a different thing which exists in subqueries. Okay, but here and temporary table sessions are very much inclined towards temporary table and subqueries. Here I'm talking about execution session. Okay, and there are a lot of difference in this execution session. You just keep in mind this execution session, what this is exactly. Okay, so it's not that the scope of this CT table is only this. Okay, wherein you are using it exactly inside the semicolon. No, if you select commentable expression and run it in a go, this commentable expression also exists for the select statement. It will also exist for joins later on. It will exist, like how many times you can use it, multiple times. Once it stops, the query execution stops and you don't have anything to run. Okay, then this get flushed out. Otherwise, you use it multiple time and run it in a go, it will exist for you. Okay, this is the most important, which does not exist in any of the other concept of subquery or all those things. Okay, so to be since we are getting a little deep, but yeah, it's good since we are discussing it. So let's talk about this select star from. Okay, and then you have some sample subquery here. So what will happen? This subquery is only exposed to this select queries. Okay, and if you try and use the subquery in another queries, so you'll have to write again. Again have to create this subquery. Okay, then you can use it. This is your query one, irrespective of it is within the colon or outside the colon. You'll have to write the subquery again, but that is not the case with common table expression. Okay, here you use it create once, and in a session you can use it multiple times. So that's why we call it a variable. Okay, it is acting as a variable. We create variable once, okay, and we use it multiple times in a programming language. So this acts as a variable to your SQL queries. Okay, that is the difference. Okay, so I'll write this as well, execution session, and it acts as a variable to your SQL queries. Chalo then, I guess this was fine. Now we'll quickly get into day 7 is fine. I wanted to discuss some few cases today. Okay, so this will be your final assignment, which I'll share it with you. This is a little complex and big one, so you'll get this. I wanted to share, wanted to do this. Yeah, I wanted to do this in class today quickly. So basically, we have three schemas, and this is pieces wherein you talk about products, provides, or this is the features, and provider who is giving you the product. So this three, this is my ER diagram, and this in this ER diagram I am having some product, providers, provides. This is the feature, product, feature, and providers who provides it. This is my schema. I have SQLs. Just if you want to go through the tables, so I have a pieces table. Okay, wherein I have code and name of the product and code. Okay, then I have providers. Okay, code again and the name who provides, like Flipkart, Amazon, whatever. Okay, and then you have this provider and provides. This will have pieces, and you'll have foreign keys, primary keys, and all those things. So ultimate idea is not that. Ultimate idea is to write queries. Okay, so I will create this table quickly in my system. I'll even share the queries with you guys. Okay, so let me create this. So it says table already exists. So it is null. Find this created. Let me check this. This does not exist. So let me create this. Okay, so I should be having this table as null. Then I should be having the third table provides as well as null. Null. Fine. Now we'll insert the data in this. So this is my query to insert. I'll just run it in a go. Insert. So I have my data. I'll just have a quick check. Yeah, I have the data. Now let's get into the query. So let's understand first the table. Okay, so in providers, so I have HAL, RBT, TNBC. Okay, Tamil Nadu Bus Corporation, whatever. I have HAL. Then I have pieces. So one piece of SP rocket, two piece of screw. So this is code basically. Sorry, this is code. One is SP rocket, two is your screw, three is your nut, four is your bolt. Okay. So and then this is my product detail. Okay. Then you have providers. So HAL and code is this is code and this is your provider name. Then you have provides, how many pieces it provides to what provider and price. So it provides one, that one is your SP rocket, to HAL. Okay, and this is the price, $10, 10 rupees, whatever. And similarly you have these details. Now let's get into the questions. So we leave the basic questions. Okay, so let's start with this question. We'll start from here. So quickly, just since we need to write queries, so just go through and tell me the queries. Don't need to write it. If you want to speak out, you can also speak out. What will be the logic? So obtain the average price of each piece. Okay. So so only the piece code and the average price. Piece code and average, like piece code and average price. So see here, we need two columns: piece code and average price. So first we need to check in which table it exists. Does it exist in one table or multiple table? If it is one table, well and good. If it is not in one table, we'll have to go for join and join those two tables to get these two column. Okay. So piece code is exist here in this provides table. Piece code and price also exist here. So I guess our work will be done with one table only. Select from provides. So we are clear with from provides. Okay, there is no filter condition. So this will be my query. Now here is the logic that we need to write. So we need piece code. So piece code is piece. Okay, then we need average price. We need to aggregate AVG and AVG. What is the price? PRIC price. Okay, let's say we need. I'll create a alias average PRIC price. Okay, this is my aliasing. So in aliasing, guys, you can even write as sometimes, and if you even skip, so SQL will understand that your aliasing table. If you just write the function or the column, and then with a space you write the alias name. You can skip the as part. Now tell me one quick thing. What about grouping? Do I need to group or not here? Any thoughts?
I guess you'll have to use the grouping by price thing.
Group by price. So the thing is, I'm aggregating, yeah. So I'm using aggregation function, and if the aggregation is alone, if this is the case, I don't need to group it. But the moment I use some categories or some labels, okay, and then use aggregation function, uh, group by is must. Okay, so if I don't group by, see what you'll get an error. Okay, and we tried and explained this in the last session. Like, this is the most common error that you will get. Okay, and this will be as it is in all of the SQL platforms. It will say the aggregated query without group by expression. Okay, so I'm aggregating this. If I just remove it and I run this query, you'll get the average. What is the question problem? Duplicate entry. Okay, we need to just run it again. Duplicate 4RB for primary. So some columns are duplicate, so that's where it's not getting able to calculate the mm, average. So let's try with this. So you from provides, then you need to write group by piece. semicolon, close it. So let's do it like this. So here you get pieces and their average price. Okay. Now let's say I want the average price to be only 2 decimal place. I can do it like this. Okay. Now let's run this. This is my uh, solution. So obtain the average price of each pieces. This is my each pieces, the code, and then your actual average price. Now, if I've tweaked the question a little bit, and I want not the code, I want the name of the piece. Okay, so how will I get it, guys? Any idea? So thing is, I just instead of piece, which is the code here, which comes from provides table, I instead of piece, I want the name of the product. Okay, so the first and foremost thing will be you need to search in which table the piece name exists. Okay, if it exists, again the same logic, if it exists in the same table, you will directly fetch the names. If it is not existing in the same table, you need to join from some other table and bring it and put some joining condition. So it does not exist here for sure, because here we have piece, provides, and price. So we need to look for table. So here if you see in provides, you have code and name. Okay, so code is provider's code. Okay, this will not work out. If you go to the schema diagram here, so piece here, providers have providers code. Okay, provides does not have any code. It has piece here, and you see pieces, that is basically pieces code and pieces name, right? So here is where we need to look for the name. So I'll go back to the query. I need to join this table, this provides table, with pieces, and pieces also have code. Okay, and I'll fetch the name, right? So from pieces, let's say this providers, like PR providers. Okay, I can do any join. So let's say I'll do inner join uh, pieces table PS on joining condition will be PR dot code is equal to PS dot code, right? And I need to bring the piece name. Okay, so how will I do that? So I'll have to use the table where piece is. So piece is in this table. So I'll just call PS dot, and column name is name comma. Okay, let's try and run this. So here you will get an error. Okay, what will be the error? Pieces, if it exists in multiple table, if it exists the group by piece that you have done here. Okay, if it exists in multiple table, okay, it will give you that this has the table column name is anonymous. This will be the error. That means SQL is not able to understand which column you are referring to group by. Okay, because it exists in multiple table. So SQL will refer this piece from which table. It will refer from providers or piece. You need to specify that. Okay, so our target is we need to group it by piece which exists in providers table, because we are aggregating that value. So whatever value we are aggregating, this price is getting aggregated on provides table. Okay, so we need to aggregate, you need to aggregate this on provides table only. Okay, so I'll just write here which table it is. I'm trying to direct the SQL, telling him that you need to group this piece from uh, pieces table if it exists in multiple table. Okay, if it is not existing in multiple table, it will straight away look for the column. If it exists only in one table, it will use that. So let's see what error, if we get any error in this. So what is the error? Duplicate entry. Okay, for the key primary. So there are, let this one, if the error changes, no, duplicate entry for RBT, for RBT, for RBT in for key primary. Okay, So piece exists in multiple table, multiple times it says 4 bolt, 4 RBTs. Okay, so let's the best will be directing each column to the respective table. So I want, sorry, this should be your PR, right? Okay, PR code is unknown column PR dot code. PR, what is the provides? So code does not exist here. So we have provides is PR pieces on PR dot code is equal to PS dot code. So what is the code here? Piece is the code. Okay, so here we need to write, copy this. Joining columns are different. Okay, that is the error. So duplicate entry. Now we need to label all the columns from where I'm calling it. So I'm calling this piece from PR dot. Then name is coming from PS table. Round price is coming from PR table. I'll name it as average. Join, inner join pieces. Okay, PS on PR dot. Now run this. So all the columns are now referring to the respective table. This, what is duplicate entry of RBT? Okay, 1 minute. Let me remove this. Is this the error? Okay, sorry. Here it will be PR dot price. Okay, I just wrote PR price. That could be the error. Okay, so let's see if it runs. Okay, so this is fine. So what was the problem basically here? I just wrote PR dot price. I wrote this. So PR price does not exist anywhere. So I just let's understand the query. Uh, I just what I added extra from the earlier queries. Uh, I added PR piece and name. So why name is giving you an error because it exists in multiple uh, tables. It says primary key exists in multiple tables. So I'll just delete this column. Okay. So that will resolve the issue. Uh, delete. But this will again be a foreign key. Let me check if it exists. If we can delete it first of all. This might give you an error because of, okay, yeah, see, this one condition is deleting 2 rows. It was duplicated. That's the reason. So let's try and run this now. So you get code and the name and their average price. So this is a expected output. So I guess the query is clear, right? Why we joined and how we are getting it. Now let's go to the second code. Second code says obtain the name of all providers who supply piece 1. Okay, so what it basically is asking, give the name of all providers, okay, who is supplying piece 1, the code 1. So we already joined it, so here we'll use the same query. There will be one simple filter condition. Did you understood the question? So the question is name of all the providers who provides piece 1. That's it. It is asking for name. So I'll not do any grouping and all. It just want name. So I'll remove the grouping part. I'll pass this piece and code and piece name from provider join pieces. Okay, group by this, and here I need to pass one where clause. Okay, what is the where clause? Where piece is equal to 1. Filter, and group by is not needed because since I'm not aggregating, I'll not use group by anymore. So let's see. You need to say which piece you are referring to. I'm referring to provider's piece. So provider is PR. So PR dot provide piece. So here you get this. So here I get this is the provider. This is the provider which is giving me piece 1. Okay. So there are two providers basically, HL and RBT. That's why you're getting duplicate. Let me, I guess the question is not this. Obtain the average, obtain the name of all providers. Yeah, all providers, correct. Who supply, all providers who supply piece 1. Piece is equal to 1, yeah. Okay, so let's take the second question and just try it at your end. Then we'll see, say the reason. Just think about it, if it is possible to do it or not. Obtain the names of all providers who supply piece 1. So we already did this, right? So we'll try this now. Select the name of pieces provided by providers with code HL. Now they are talking about codes. Okay, you need to pull out all the pieces and their provider details by the provider whose code is HL. We'll take this question, then we'll stop for today, and then I'll share the assignments, and probably you'll be able to download now. Just check it from your side once if you are able to download or not. Just the error is fixed. I just got the message.
Still getting the same error.
Acha, one thing, Devanshi. So when we talk about data governance, so there are two aspects of it. So one is from data engineering aspect, wherein the people, data engineers and like ETL developers, they take care of the data and how the data should be residing in the tables. Okay, and then you have an analytical perspective, wherein when you query the data, when you create the report, when you create what do we call it, when you create a procedures, store procedures, how do you use it, what do you use it, do you go for expensive subqueries, do you go for light temporary tables, or do you go for SQL variables like CTs? Okay, so that is what you will have to take care of, and that becomes your data governance aspect. Okay, you need to take care, otherwise your report which needs to get loaded by 9 a.m. in the morning, you have written a very expensive queries, and that takes 2 hours to get loaded. Okay, and it gets updated by 11, so it is of no use, right? So your task is to optimize the query, make it small, optimal in terms of running time, and then work on that. Okay, so that is data governance on data analytics perspective. Okay, define data governance or profiling, explain importance of data governance and profiling your data appropriately, all in theories. Okay, so I guess uh, this is not of that importance. Okay, so we talked about aggregates a lot. Okay, we'll do some assignments as well. Last week assignment is still pending. This week assignment is there. Okay, therein we'll discuss about how in that assignments, upcoming assignment, you'll discuss about more aggregates and CTs. I guess we have seen most important step, understanding relationship in your data, that is joining and all. Null values we have seen, string, how to handle strings, substrings, sub str functions we have seen. Okay, dates and times we have seen. Okay, subject area understanding, this is more of a domain, which domain you are working, data understanding, and then business understanding. So as I said, like whenever you get a business questions, so it is more of understanding what that question is and wherein you can which table you can hit to resolve those questions. Okay, that is more of a data understanding part. So you should be aware your data, in which table what data resides and what answers can be driven from that data. Okay. Unspoken needs, which customer, which product. Just okay. So fine, guys. So I'll mail you the assignments. Okay, and we'll take advanced assignment today as well.